Hello everyone, and welcome to my video. For Black Desert Online help, Shai PvE and PvP related things, you can find me at twitch.tv/Wutaru. Without further delay, let's get on with the video. You can actually double the effect of your Magnus skill. Instead of you getting 50 DP, you get 100 DP. It's weird. I can probably show you it in action. It's a specific thing that you can do to actually get 100 DR, right? And then on top of that, you're hitting them one time max hit of 6 times how many people is around you, and you're just getting bonus HP, right? That's always really, really good. Let me go to DA. You're learning so much. I'm glad. I want you guys to pay attention to my buff bars. If I do a singular stick to me, you should see a DR buff right here, right? Right there. Right, you saw that? But did you see that it proc twice? There's 1, 2. What you would do is change your add-ons to be like this. When you are using stick to me, right? When you're using stick to me, if you happen to get hit as you cast it or anything like that, you can actually trick it to proc twice, right? So that's why stick to me is actually really, really good. You don't even need that. You don't even need add-ons if you do so. But if you do have add-ons, I highly recommend that you use this right here. All DP plus 20 and all evasion plus 5%, right? Because when you use your stick to me ability, you actually proc it twice. This is for like AOS and stuff like that too. This is my PvP for like large scale and stuff. 1, 2, 3 is just lower people's damage that they do. The bleeding helps all the time. I don't care what people say. Oh yeah, but 100 damage, it stops healing. It stops some sort of amount of healing. Twirl is just readjustment, but it can also slow people down. Hop 3 is a quick ability, and the reason why I have double evasion on here, or evasion plus and an evasion minus, is because by doing a back LMB gives you another 5% evasion. So you got 10% evasion by doing this ability right here. Quick 2 is attack and cast speed, guys. If you guys do SRB, what you can do is if you're trying to disengage from an enemy like that, that's going to give you movement and cast speed so you can run away, right? And the reason why I didn't do an SLMB is because you're going to get evasion bonuses anyway, but it doesn't push you that far back, right? So you can do something like this. You can turn the screen around after doing an SRB, and you can run, right? Get back to your team, right? Eat this critical hit rate, attack speed bonus. The only reason why I did this is because it does something, right? It does something, and attack speed, movement speed. This is just only if you can stop somebody, right? But let's say my teammate is over here, right? Let's say my teammate's over there, and I see somebody over here coming from the side, right? What I can do is I can LMB, RMB, right? Yeah, I get a crit bonus. That's just only specifically me, like that, and I can run, right? I can run to my teammates because I have a attack speed. It actually moves you faster in your roll and your hop, like this, which is interesting, right? You see how attack speed makes you go further? I don't know. They did it. They did it, and that's my understanding of it. So you can do this. There, and you get over there faster, right? Here's a little trick, guys. It takes a little bit, and it can be annoying. If you guys seen Shais, when they do their movement ability, they usually do this, right? But watch my stamina, right? You see how my stamina is like getting deleted? You see how my stamina is going out so fast? Right? So I went from the fence, and I'm out of stamina at the 1.5 way mark, right? I'm out of stamina at the 1.5 way mark. But if you do a LMB before your next hop, you can actually start the recovery of your stamina in the middle, right? For instance, if I'm doing this, you're gonna do something like this, right? You're gonna hop forward, left click, right? But then you left click again, and then you do it. You don't have to do the full animation. You just gotta start the swing. You just gotta start the swing animation, right? And what that does is like I want to lose half my stamina on purpose, like this, right? You're gonna see that when I swing, my stamina starts going up. Right? You see my stamina go up by like 3 or 4 ticks? Right? By me swinging once starts the animation. If I did this by itself, watch how long it takes for my stamina to regrow again. Right? 1, 2, 3, like 3.5 to 4 seconds before my stamina starts going up. Right? But if you swing once and you cancel it into a dash, right? You can actually, that's gotta get away from those people. So you swing, right? You can see that I can start my stamina going up immediately by hitting left mouse button, right? So hopefully nobody hits me in the middle of the way, but I want to do something like this. Remember how I went only to like over there, right? You remember how I only went over there? So I want to do this. Whoops. Maybe I should lock this too. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to avoid some of the people in the way. So I'm like moving to the side. All right, so you. I can still keep going. See, there you go. So you see how much further I went if I were to just continue to do this instead? Right? So if you do a little swing in between, you actually recover like 40% of your initial stamina. Which a lot of Shais, I don't think they do. They just do this. I want to keep doing this, and then they, you know. So you just do one little LMB. Like, let me see if I can show you this. So you hop. You see that little tap right there? That one little tap right there starts regenerating your stamina. And you can see that I didn't even fully swing. Right? I didn't fully swing. Right? It is slightly slower, but once you start getting the rhythm of it, like once you start getting the rhythm of it, as long as you see your character barely swing like that, that's how you want to do it. You see how like I barely swing, right? You see how like I take out the weapon like this, right? Let me go closer, like that, right? Right? That's how you're supposed to really cancel it. But you see how you do that? Right? Once you get the hang of it, like once you get the hang of it, you can do it, right? And then of course attack speed and movement speed does help a lot, right? You see how I barely take out the weapon? Right? The only reason why I did it with doing it like this, it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice, right? But if you do it like this, you know, and then of course you could do like WF in between as well to get like attack speed again. But yeah, you're supposed to cancel on the first animation, right? Because you still get about 3 stamina each time. So I highly recommend that you turn off try this, because you shouldn't be using really try this anyways in PvP, right? Because if you have try this, you gotta be like, I gotta be careful not to press this on accident, because then you just completely screw yourself over, right? Again, animation cancel, right? Animation cancel. It's not like it's like if you do this, it doesn't, you know, you know, when you do the normal way, it's not like it's bad, right? You move a lot faster. But if you need to keep up, like let's say you're going with a Zerker or a Meiwa or somebody that's very mobile, right? And you're trying to keep up, right? Yes, you keep up with your group this way, right? Yes, you keep up with your group this way. But by the time you get over there, you can't do much, right? You can't. I got a bongo and you got like no stamina left, right? So even though you arrive a little bit slower, right? It's better to come to the group a little bit slower, like I would say like 1 or 2 seconds slower, and have 40% of your stamina to continue bongo when you need to, than to be out of stamina and all you do there is just, I got a buff and then that's it, right? You just buff and that's it, right? So that's why, yes, it's a little bit slower, but any management of your stamina is still better than no management on your stamina, right? And what's crazy about doing this, I believe you can cancel hop like this and then, you know, LMB or something forward guard, right? If you need to use your protection right away, you're already pressing the LMB button, right? So you go like, oh, back, then just tap back instead, right? You tap back instead and you got protection, right? Otherwise, you just and then stay protected. See, I thought that guy was gonna attack me, and so you got other options. You got other options as well. So that's what I'm talking about, right? It's about managing your stamina, if anything. That's one little neat trick. Again, if you do your Magnus ability, there's a way to like proc it twice. 1, 2, you see? When you initially take out your weapon, it should proc twice. Like if you hide your weapon and you're running like this, taking out your weapon and then Magnus skill should give you double 50 DP, right? Weapon away, weapon out, and then Q. 1, 2. See? And that's really good with Sick to Me, because every time it ticks, it's 50 DP. For yourself and your allies, by the way. Yourself and your allies. Imagine giving your teammate 100 DR. Right? Imagine giving your teammates 100 DR. 50. 50. See? Ta-da! Now you guys learn. You guys learning? Hope you guys are learning. Hope you guys are learning here. Let's see if there's any other things that might be interesting. If you guys are using Tumble Wumble, I would highly suggest you don't use Tumble Wumble. Please. Please don't. But if you do it, you want to meme on your teammates, right? You want to meme on your teammates, you do this, right, chat? Shai and everything coming. If you guys wanna meme on your teammates and meme on everybody else, do this. It takes some practice. But do this. Right? So you want to buff yourself, etc. there's a specific angle where you want to aim, right? If you aim upwards, there's Tumble Wumble right there. You saw Tumble Wumble? Protect yourself, guys. Boom. Come in here, buddy. Come here. And walk in your thing, right? So you go up a little bit, aim down. You can walk with it. Right? So you can go up a little bit and then down. Walk with it. And then depending on if you have movement speed buff, you can just angle it down a little bit more. Yeah, oh, interesting, huh? Up, down a little bit. Yep. What does it do? It just scares your opponents. It doesn't really do much, guys. It's just a funny thing to do once in a while. It does very little damage. It does nothing in terms of PvP other than look scary. Any more tricks to int teammates? To int your teammates. I never thought about inting my teammates. Other than back then our bubbles lock our teammates in a bubble, which is kind of hilarious. To int your teammates. Not really. I don't think there's anything they really do to int your teammates now. They removed all the mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, so let's say you try to get away from your enemies. Let's say you get away from your enemies. If you know how to adjust your screen really fast, you do this, right? You leave a mind like, oh no, I'm being chased by a Zerker. It's like, oh shit, there's a Zerker, there's somebody chasing me. You just leave that behind you, just get smacked. But yeah. Other than that, guys, there's a way to constantly stay. There's a way to constantly stay protected. If you guys use this ability, come out. You can always cancel into a forward guard, and you can cancel into a WF, right? Stuff like that. That was keep you protected. In your come out ability, it's a really good way to recover stamina if you're always out of stamina and you need to get away, because this starts your stamina gain again, and it gives you a 20% DR bonus because you're a super armor for the whole entire duration. WF is really good. In that time that you're getting hit, 20% damage reduction, because that's the Shai getting 20% damage reduction. What else? Oh. Up to you guys. If you guys want to use Careful or Now. Careful is going to help you heal your teammates more. Versus Now is a slow movement speed ability. The thing is with Now, it can stack on top of your other movement down abilities. Right? So if I were to go and use Now like this. Right? If I use Now, let me see if I have Now on my hotbar. Where is my Now? So if you use Now, right, and you have other add-ons with that does like negative movement speed, like my twirl, you can stack all of that, including Sun Fury, right? So cast speed, move speed, all that stuff. You can do this. That's a slow. That's a slow. That's a slow, right? You can just do 3 different slows and evasion downs on it. It might not look like it stacks, but it does. That's one thing that's crazy about it. Like, because this ability is its own icon, right? So you could do this. That attack that applies a slow. That applies a slow. That applies its own slow. So you can triple slow somebody, and guys, it goes beyond the slow limit. Right? This goes beyond the slow limit because it doesn't count as a normal movement down. It counts as its own ability. So if you guys use this ability, you can, if you know you have a guardian, like if you have a guardian, I don't know, or warrior, anybody that applies a really deep slow, a witch wizard, and you use Now on top of it, this bypasses this bypasses their movement speed debuff. So if you depending on your group build, this can be extremely detrimental to the other team, right? Because it bypasses everything. It's literally its own debuff. It's its own category. It's its own category. On here, sharing and carrying is not that bad, right? Over there, I don't like over there because even though it lowers minus 20 AP on hit, the life of these things are like so low that it'll get one shot, right? And one thing that I don't like about over there is it chases the enemy, right? It chases the enemy, and the enemy's like, what the hell is this little bubble? And it just hit LMB or RMB, and boom, it's dead, right? Whereas sharing is carrying, right? It'll always go to allies, right? It'll follow your rangers, it'll follow like you, it'll follow whatever, but it's easier to manage than the other ability. Right? I could put this out there. Let me see. I want to ask them to do one thing for me. Right. So I want to go and ask somebody on this team. Here. See, instantly dead. So that's why you don't want to use. Sorry, that took forever. That's why you don't want to use this ability over there, because the orb literally dies in like one hit. Yes, it is pretty crazy to be like, oh yeah, guys, but it's minus 20 AP and accuracy. It's only used for PvE because mobs that hit it in PvE, are not going to kill it. They don't target your orb. They can't AoE it, right? Even if they do AoE it, it doesn't kill it in one hit. So that's why I said over there, it's very, very bad. That's why you want to do sharing as carrying. Right? Because it's a bubble that follows your teammates, and it always targets the lowest HP member of your alliance or party, right? Again, it will die in one hit anyways, right? Like before, but at least it's static and you can control it better because it'll follow you if it does nothing, and it'll follow the teammate if it needs to heal them, right? Any small amount of HP is better than no HP. Right? It's better than this orb that lasts 1 second and it has a 30-second cooldown, right? You can have this constantly healing in the back. It doesn't heal that much, but it's 1,000 HP, right? It's about 1,000 HP because more like 1,400 HP if it fully goes to the full cycle, because it's 350 HP over every 7 seconds. So that's one thing, guys. Again, that's what I highly recommend that you guys probably use in terms of PvP. Now is very dependent on who's on your team. If you have a witch or wizard that can apply slows, or a guardian that can apply a really heavy slow, stacking now on top of them is going to be a lot better, and it bypasses the slow cap. So I usually use careful as a well-rounded thing. What you can do is you can always aim it at your feet. You can always aim it at your feet. It's super armor, so you get healed and take damage reduction, right? Because it's super armor. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a rundown of Shai in terms of PvP. If you guys have any other additional questions, I'd be glad to help you. If you have your weapon out, you take out your weapon, right? Then you Q. Sometimes it procs twice. See, there you go. See? That's the only thing I know. That's the only way I know how I can proc it twice majority of the time. Your job in anything capped is to keep people alive. That's it. I highly recommend that you don't bongo unless you know how to cancel it. Okay, let me show you one more thing, okay? Let me show you one more thing. I gotta go back to BA, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind. This is why you don't bongo. Yep, buff, healing, and Missy. That's it. You don't bongo. Unless you know how to cancel it. If you know how to cancel it, then yeah. Because this is what a lot of people are doing. right? And I watched it in a lot of people's thing. When someone says go in there and bongo, this is what every Shai pretty much does. All right? They do this. So if you guys don't know the CC counter, every stiffness is 0.7. Every time someone reaches above 2.0, they become CC immune. So this is what I see a lot of Shais do, right? Look how fast the stiffness meter is going up. Now they're immune to all CCs by you and everybody else. So when you're like, okay, go ahead, go in here, bongo, go in there, bongo, go in there, bongo, and then you see a Shai, just hold F. So when anybody else that comes in, they just get deleted because they don't have their knockdown, they don't have anything else that they can do. And then a lot of people are like, I can't grab anybody because you know why? They're CC capped, right? So you have to count. You have to count, right? 1, 2, right? Then you stop, right? After 2 seconds, you're gonna like, how do I stop? WF. You count it. 1, 2. There you go. 0.7. That way, you can do stuff like this, right? So watch. I wanna leave my bongo up for 1.4. Stun. I can't kick him. Right? I can't kick him. Right? I do this. 1, 2. Oops. Oh, I did it too early. I did it too late. Sorry. 1, 2. Not immune? There you go. Now it's immune. You see? So that's why you don't want to go in there and just hold bongo. Right? That will mess up your team from engaging. Because by the time they get in, they're already at almost at capped. And so they get stunned. They're like, oh, I want to grab them. I want to CC them. And they can't do anything. So unless you know 1, 2, WF. Then your team can engage. Right? Your team can engage, and then they can follow up with a 2-point combo. Right? And what I mean by a 2-point combo is 1 point, 2 point. Right? So, yeah, you're not going in there in T1, T2, T3, or whatever, and like, I'm with the whole bongo. You just instantly die and you kill your whole entire team. So when you want to go in there, you can do something like this, right? Then your team can go in and follow up. But you're not gonna be going into your group and be like this. Yeah, I'll do the whole bongo. Yep, whole bongo. Oh, and then you die because they're CC immune. They go in there, they blow you up because you don't have full DR or evasion, right? And then all your other teammates that go in there like, yeah, follow up, kill his shot. They're like, I want to stun that guy. I can't do it because they're CC immune. So again, bongo is more than just holding your bongo skill out. It's counting the CCs. A good time to bongo as well is if your teammate blows up a ball. Right? Let's say they did this, right? Then they knocked them. Then you're like, I want to keep bongoing, right? And the reason why this is more important is because of hit stutter. You know how how PA was like, oh yeah, you just do an attack, right? People get stuck in hit stun. Right? They get locked in hit stun. Right? This is the good time. Because they're already past that and you're not adding more. But you can also count down from 5 and apply this so you can do it for like 7 seconds. So if someone goes in and blows up somebody, right? You count 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count like 5 to 7 seconds after they knocked it down, and then hi, how are you, Ray? And then you could re-CC them again. Right? Again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. There you go. So yeah. So I hope that helps. I hope the timing and everything helps you. If you have any additional questions, I love doing live tutorials and stuff like that. Bongo. Tick. See? Aim at the ground, okay? Even if you aim down here, you see my crosshair like way down here, it still hits him. Let me see if I can get the range. You see, look. You see how I'm right here? See? Don't aim at somebody. Aim at the ground. Like, have you ever played FPS games where you do like rocket jumps and stuff? It's better to aim at the ground. Okay. And since our WF can roll through people, right? So let's say I'm in the front, right? You see how I didn't aim at that guy and I stunned him behind him? Yeah, see? You're learning a lot of stuff. Again, I'm in front of the guy. He's facing me. WF. I'm not even aiming at him, you see? So I don't have to flick. I literally just... So you see how I can't hit him like this? You see how I'm aiming this way? Right? Look, I can't hit him. But if I'm like this... And I... Stunned. Makes you look like you're a pro, right? Look, I stunned them out here. You saw that? 3 steps. That's fine, right? 1. Yeah, 3 steps. Look how far.